As you probably know, the Ford Maverick compact truck is super popular and is getting more so. And now Ford is introducing a brand new model, which is this, a 2023 Ford Maverick Tremor off-road package. And here I have a comparison for you. I have an FX4 off-road package Maverick on this side and a brand new Tremor package on the other side. So what do you get with a Tremor? How do they compare? Is it worth the money? Let's find out right now. The new Maverick Tremor actually follows the same recipe as Ford has used with other pickup trucks. I'm talking about the Super Duty Tremor off-road package, the F-150 Tremor, the Ranger Tremor, and the Maverick Tremor is based on a 2-liter turbocharged all-wheel drive Maverick platform, but Ford has given it a suspension lift. I'll show you the differences in a second. But you still have the same power, 250 horsepower. So let me open up the hoods and show you that and walk around all of the details. Yes, so under the hood is still the same engine as before for 2022 and 2023. It's a 2-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder. 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. That maximum torque is available at 3,000 RPM. So actually, this is a quiet, torquey powertrain, which is good for an off-road vehicle. And yes, the hybrid is still there, the Maverick Hybrid, but the Maverick Hybrid still doesn't have all-wheel drive available. So if you want an off-road Maverick, you have to choose the turbocharged power plant. And also, you cannot get a Tremor in XL base model. It has to be an XLT mid-range or Lariat, more premium one, like you see right here. Under the hood of the FX4, of course, it's the same 2-liter, same power rating. That's not changed. You're probably wondering about fuel efficiency. Well, on the all-wheel drive model Maverick, the official EPA rating is 22 city, 29 highway, and 25 combined. I've been getting close to the combined rating after a couple of days of driving in this one. And I've been driving, fairly aggressively because I had to go around Michigan from Detroit to Hollyoaks and back. And the Tremor efficiency is not rated quite yet. It may be slightly different, it may not be. We'll have to wait and see. But the Mavericks have 16.5 gallon fuel tanks. So if you take 25 by 16, you have, at least 400 miles and often more of range, which is pretty good. The FX4 off-road package has been available from the get-go when the Maverick was first introduced. It's actually about an $800 option. So what do you get with that? Well, for the FX4, you get specially tuned suspension that's a little bit more focused on off-roading as well. And you can get these optional tires as well. These are the Wild Peak All-Terrain Falcons, 235/65 R17. And you have a choice of wheels. And this is kind of a polished wheel. Actually, it's one of my favorites. And also, in the front, you can identify the FX4 by these tow hooks in the front. But as you can tell, there's still kind of a chin spoiler here. There's the bumper partially down here, and the approach angle on this one is about 21, just over 21 degrees. So it's good, but if you're a little bit more serious about off-roading, you gotta step up to the Tremor. On the Tremor, you're actually getting the same size tire, and the same tire itself, this Falcon Wild Peak AT. Exactly the same size. The style is different, and you notice here this orange highlight identifying the Tremor very clearly. Like I said, 1-inch lift, so you are getting better ground clearance, 9.4 inches versus 8.6 on the FX4, and this is the biggest change. And it's pretty clear what it is. You can see this cut in the bumper. They redesigned the front fascia. The tow hooks are still here, but now they're orange. That's another identification, but the approach angle is way better, 30.7 degrees. So you can climb over a little bit more aggressive obstacles with this one without fearing of hitting that lower fascia. When you're getting the FX4 package on the Maverick, you still have access to really good payload and towing capability for a compact pickup. Let's take a look at the numbers. 1,382 pounds on this particular XLT model with all-wheel drive, of course. So that's still really good capability, even when you compare it to other classes of pickups like midsize and half tons. And then let me show you around the back for towing. Of course, you have your bed. We'll go over that in a second. But for trailering, you can combine the 2-liter engine with the FX4 package, and you can also combine it with a 4K 4,000 pound trailering package. This particular truck does not have it equipped right here, right now, but you could combine those technically. So if you want to bring a larger trailer, maybe slightly larger boat or a camping trailer, you can do that as well. So you have all that payload and towing capability. The Tremor package on the Maverick costs $2,995, almost $3,000. So what do you get? Well, let's take a look at the payload and towing. Technically, you're getting a little bit less payload. In this case, on this Lariat model, it's 1,240 pounds. Still, I think you're not losing a lot. But why do you lose a little bit? Well, it's also because of the equipment, but also suspension tuning. Ford tells me that they tuned the shocks and the suspension just a little bit softer to accommodate more off-road driving. And of course, you get that benefit as well on the road. But for towing, 2,000 pounds is the maximum. So you get basically the same hitch, 2-inch receiver, 4-pin trailer wiring package, but no access to 4,000 pound towing. So they're basically focusing the Tremor package a little bit more towards that off-road capability and not as much for towing, which is okay. But underneath, the things you cannot see, the all-wheel drive system is actually now they call it the PTO, power takeoff, is actually water cooled instead of air cooled. And in the rear, and this is the real kicker, it's a new twin clutch rear differential that's also available on the off-road versions of the Bronco Sport, which allows you to actually have a button to lock the rear differential for best traction. And I'll show you all those modes in a second. And of course, you're getting a Maverick because of the bed. You want a small compact pickup with utility. 4.5-foot bed, of course, is still here. You can get accessories like this, a bed extender. You get other features like these tie-down rails with movable cleats. You got a 120-volt, 400-watt power outlet here and a light inside the bed, which is always great. You got these D-rings in the floor, really, really heavy duty. Ford says they tested this in the same way they test the Super Duty. And then you have a little storage cubby. Let me show you. On this side with a false floor. That's pretty neat. And last but not least, let me show you. You can actually put the tailgate into a higher position. So you can put a 4x8 sheet of plywood on this mid-gate position and put it over the fender, wheel fenders, so you can lay that material right there. Now let's take a look inside the FX4 model. You have to remember, this is an XLT, which means, I know there's a lot of X's, but the XLT is the mid-grade. That's why you get the special, unique for XLT interior trim. So you get kind of contrast here, you got a little bit of orange here. You have also orange inserts on a lot of your center console. But I want to show you this. So I need to start the XLT. I still have a key. So I need to fire up the engine because I want to show you the modes. When you get a Maverick all-wheel drive, it's always an all-wheel drive mode, which means it decides what to do for you. But here on the center console is your main control panel with 5 driving modes. Let me show you. So over here, of course, you start out in normal mode. There's tow haul mode, which kind of adjusts your throttle and your transmission mapping. And then you get into more of a traction control situations like slippery terrain, mud and ruts, where you're likely to lift a wheel. And of course, sand, very, very loose surfaces. So you have those 5 modes. And if you look down once again on the center console, you also have the ability in the FX4 to control your traction control system. Roman thinks this looks like a snail, but it's actually traction control off and on. Auto hold basically prevents you from rolling on uneven terrain. Hill descent control, and the auto stop start disable button right here. But the Tremor, you actually get a few differences. All right, let's step inside the Tremor. So first thing you will notice are the seats. So the Tremor gets unique stitching, once again, orange. There's a giant Tremor name in the front seats to let you know this is a special vehicle. Like I said before, the Tremor package is available with both XLT and Lariat. This truck I'm sitting in right now is a Lariat, so it's a little bit more premium, of course. You've got remote start, you've got push button start, you have wireless charger, you have a slightly different look. So the orange accents are no longer here because it's a Lariat. But then let's focus on this panel. Now 6 buttons instead of 5. You still have your modes, but now you have a little Tremor sticker, little Tremor decal right there. Still traction control. Now this is more than hill descent control. Now this is trail control, one pedal driving basically. Or think of it also as a off-road cruise control. Then I told you about the rear locker. The twin clutch system, you have it available right here. And also 4-wheel drive lock, which means it's kind of when you push this, it's also available in some of the off-road modes. You're sending equal power front and back. So you can distribute the power, or the driver has more control over what's happening, which I always like in an off-road vehicle. On the right side of the digital screen, you can see your locker indicator and also the 4-wheel drive lock switch. And finally, this is your transmission dial, reverse neutral drive, and also a lower gear. It's an 8-speed automatic, so this is not a continuously variable transmission or any other type of transmission, which is pretty good for off-road. Right now, let's take a little bit of a closer look at the suspension. I turned the wheel. So first of all, you can see the tread. Pretty aggressive. You got sipes. This tire, this Falcon, is rated for snow, so it's really all-weather, all-terrain. That's pretty good. Now let's look at the shock. You can kind of see it with the wheel turned. It's not a name brand Fox or Bilstein or some other brand, but like I was saying, Ford specifically tuned this and they gave it a lift. You can also see the drive shaft, the A-arm, how it mounts. And behind here, you're not seeing this, but they had to repackage the coolant, the radiator, and some other elements, and it's very similar to what's available on the Bronco Sport. And the final element, Ford says, is the color key on the wheel. This orange accent points to the valve. So I guess it might be easier for you if this was muddy to find it, but let me know what you think. Do you like this design style? Ford is kind of one of the first to get this kind of asymmetric wheel design as far as color. And then there's the badges. They blacked out the badges on the wheels, in the front, in the back. Let me show you. As part of the Tremor package, you also get style, right? So you have unique color-coded insert here in the grille. The back of the headlights are blacked out, and the badge itself, the Ford badge, is blacked out. In the back, actually, this is one of my favorite style elements, the blacked out tail lamp. Of course, you can still see it's the tail lamp. The Tremor decals on the side and also on the back, and of course the blacked out emblem in the back. So I think overall it's a fairly attractive package. This is the cactus gray color. It will be available in several colors. The order banks open in September, and you'll be able to order them soon and hopefully get your hands on one of these. So as you see right there, now you have even more choice. I've been driving this Maverick for a couple of days. It's a loan vehicle here that I got in Michigan, and I actually like how compact and how nimble this little pickup is. And of course the FX4 gives you the additional traction and the optional tires to go on a different terrain. But if you're worried about clearance, and there is a little bit of a clearance issue in the front, The Tremor kind of takes it once again to that next level, like I showed you before, but you do have to pay, like I said, $2,900, about $3,000. And there's also, on top of that, if you want more style, there is also the appearance package where you get a different color roof, mirrors, and more decals. That Tremor appearance package is on top of the Tremor, and that's $1,495. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Would you select the Maverick Tremor for your next vehicle? When would you use it? Would you take it to your next camping trip? Let me know. And as always, alltfl.com is where you'll find everything automotive. One place, one-stop shop right there.